Give me 5 minutes and I'm going to make you the best doubles player in your club. I guarantee it. What a fantastic point to analyze. So first, let's look at the server and his footwork during the serve and volley. So check this out. He takes 3 steps. Step number 1, step 2, step 3, and split step. That is the perfect footwork when serving and volleying. Now the ball doesn't come to him, so then he goes forward, but that's the footwork you want to practice with your coaches. When you land out of your serve, that's step 1, step 2, step 3, and then split step. The next idea, the serve is to the returner's inside ground stroke. The inside ground stroke versus the outside ground stroke. The inside ground stroke is toward the inside of the court. The outside ground stroke is to the outside of the court. When you serve to the inside ground stroke, it becomes more likely that the opponent hits down the line. So you see so many rec players, the serve goes to the inside ground stroke, then the net player makes that move to try to pinch and try to intercept the ball, but the ball gets yanked down the line. And that's because your opponent, in their brain, will often decide where to hit the ball by the side they're contacting on. So if they're playing the ball on the inside ground stroke, they'll yank it down the line. If they're hitting on the outside ground stroke, they'll hit cross court. There's an X that is created by the 2 shots. If you don't believe me, just watch baseball. Right-handed batters hit to left field. Left-handed batters hit to right field. Not all the time, but you can predict where it's going simply by the side of the body they're making contact on. So the volleyer at net is ready. He does not pinch, which was great. And then here's where the magic happens. This was so well done by all 4 players. Could it have been better? Yes, I absolutely, and I'll show you how they could be even better. But this was really well done. And I typically, even with this high level college doubles, don't see all 4 players do the right thing. So let's talk about the team in blue. The ball is going to go over this net player's head, the server's partner, and they're going to switch. So if you're this player and the ball goes over your head, just yell switch, and that tells your partner to go back and get it. And that's because he can move at an angle and have a better time seeing the ball than the player having to run straight back where the ball is like over their head and they can kind of get lost. So it's actually easier for them to switch when they do this. But what I want you to notice is a couple things. First, look at the grip that the player who's running down the lob is using. He's using like a continental volley grip, right? He's using a grip that he can open up the face because he's going to hit a defensive lob. And that's what we saw. We saw him lob the ball super, super high, which was really well done. I see a lot of rec players when running down a shot like this, and they've got a severe, like semi-Western or even full Western grip, and then they have no chance of getting that ball back over the net. Remember, when you change the grip like that and you give yourself more of a continental grip, it changes the face of the racket and where the strings are pointing, and it's going to make it much easier for you to get the ball back over the net. But not even just the person running down the shot. Let's watch the person who is lobbed. Most recreational players I see who get lobbed, when they switch, they stay at the net. All they think of is moving laterally. Watch where this guy moves. Not only where he moves, but where he's looking. The ball goes over his head, and watch. He is going to end up all the way back. Look at him. He's looking at his partner, by the way. He wants to know how much trouble his partner's in. He's looking at the grip. He's looking at the racket face. He wants to get a sense of what type of shot is coming back. Because if the partner can crush it nice and low, he'll want to go forward because the ball's going to pop up. So he wants to gain all that info. So he's coming back, and notice he ends up all the way out of the screen. So well done. Now, one thing I would say is for this player, when you're going back, have your head on a swivel. Look at your opponents, then look at your partner. Like right here, he should be looking at his opponents and knowing what the opponents are doing, because what these guys do is not typical. These guys are moving to the service line, which is not typically what you see. So if he is looking at the opponents, then looking at the partner, looking at the opponents, looking at the partner, as he moves back, then he'll understand the quality of his partner's shot in the context of what these players did, right, with their core positioning. But I love the fact that he's looking at his partner. And now let's talk about the team in red who hit the lob. When you lob your opponents like this, and they are going to switch, it is critical that you do not stay back at the baseline. It's critical that you put your toes on the service line. Let me say that again. When you lob your opponents, put your toes on the service line. And the reason is you have to expect a lob back from this player. You're expecting a lob back. And what do you want to hit off the lob? What do these players want to hit off a lob? They want to hit an overhead. And they're not going to hit an overhead if they stay back behind the baseline. So I love the fact that they come forward. Now, one thing, the reason I say put your toes on the service line is it's quite easy to start just drifting in way too far. And then it becomes easier for the opponent who's going to lob to actually get the ball over your head. And then these players who had a stranglehold on the point end up losing the point. But this is phenomenally done. You've got the team who is lobbed switching and moving back. You have the team who hit the lob going to the service line. They're slightly inside the service line, which isn't the biggest deal because the player back here is in major trouble. So the ball is going to be super high. But now let's look at the lob. So remember, we're talking about this player's grip, right? We're talking about this player's grip, that he's not going to be ripping a topspin ball. He's just going to be popping this ball straight up into the air. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that your opponents usually do not practice overheads off of extremely high lobs. And what I recommend is that when your back is to the opponents and you're running down that ball, that you've got your volley grip and that you lob this ball so that it stays in the air for at least 2.5 seconds. Hit the lob in the air for at least 2.5 seconds. And you might think, oh, Ryan, all of my lobs are in the air for 2.5 seconds. The typical lob is in the air for about a second and a half. And that doesn't give the ball a chance to drop and accelerate, after it peaks, to give the opponent enough trouble. So let's check this out. I don't see exactly when he hits the ball because it's out of the screen, but we're going to take a guess just based off of the opponent's split step. So you always land your split step after the opponent makes contact. It's about 0.2 seconds after the opponent hits the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a timer down now, and we're going to start the timer, and then after we run the timer until the overhead is hit, we're going to add 0.2 seconds to give us exactly how long that lob was in the air. So the ball goes up in the air, he's waiting, and then there's contact right there. So let's add 0.2 seconds. So we're at 2.63. Very well done by this player to get the ball up high enough. Again, your opponents do not practice overheads off of extremely high lobs typically, so it becomes very difficult. Now, for all of you who are thinking, oh, they should just let the ball bounce and then crush an overhead. For any of you who are saying that, how many times have you taken a lesson and you've worked on overheads off of a bounce, off of an extremely high lob? That's usually not something people practice. They practice forehands, backhands, serves. They're not practicing bounce overheads, right? So this is, again, a very difficult shot. Now, good thing this player switched and moved back, because if he had stayed at the net, which is what you typically see in rack tennis, then you've got the overhead being crushed by either player, whichever one is going to hit the overhead, the ones who are on the service line, at the player who has no time to react. The ball is hit as an overhead. This person is far enough back, and now you've got this little pinch, and what a beautiful soft angle. Look at this. Look how short he hits that ball off the court. Extremely well done. Please send this video to your doubles partners. Send it to them. Get on the same page. If you master these strategies, you're going to win a ton of doubles matches. Now, if you're tired of lugging around your old and outdated ball machine, then just make your tennis friends jealous and get the Proton Ball Machine by Hydrogen Sports. And right now you can get free shipping in the USA when you use my link. It's in the description. You'll find it in the first comment. You'll also see it on the screen at the end of this video. The Proton is fully programmable using its intuitive app. In fact, you control it using your smartphone or watch. It holds up to 100 balls and weighs less than 20 pounds. To see how truly amazing this ball machine is, and to get free shipping when you order one, be sure to use my link. Now, before I share that link with you, if you would love to find new players in your local area, maybe to practice with or play singles and doubles matches against, or you want to find a coach who's close to you who's going to be able to help you with your game, then check out PlayYourCourt. It's a database of local players and coaches in your area who you can contact today. I've put their link in the description. Check out PlayYourCourt. You're going to love it. So click right there to check out the Proton Ball Machine, and with that link, you're given a coupon code for free shipping. Master what to do when a lob occurs in doubles, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.